So I want to continue on a theme I started in last week's video. And what I was doing was I was talking about collaborative creation, and I was contrasting it a little bit with what I call willful creation. And they're just words that I made up to describe things. But in willful creation, it's kind of like that goal attainment. And this is how, kind of us overachievers, and we kind of will things, that we make things happen. So we have this goal, and then we move toward the goal, and we have this kind of linear, we allow more and more, we kind of create this thing and kind of will it into existence. And then collaborative creation, that's great. I'm not down on that. It's really good for some things. And I was offering another way of kind of called collaborative creation. And some of it's maybe a little similar to law of attraction and some of the other things, manifesting. It's not necessarily an original idea, but it's one that I've been kind of, offering some pointers towards. And in this collaborative creation, it's more like we offer an intention. Okay, and then the energy of our intention goes out and interacts with the universe, interacts with life or with spirit, whatever you want to call it. And then, and when we offer an intention, it creates a partnership with life or with spirit. And then our energy kind of, spirit kind of works with our energy and even maybe reflects it back. And then it opens up doorways, and then we can. We get towards our goal by stepping into these doorways and that type of thing. And so, but what really struck me toward the end of the last video, sometimes I hear myself say things in these videos too. And this was one of those cases. And I said, this is already happening, whether we realize it or not. It's always been happening because it's the natural way of things. It's kind of in my book, The Natural Way of Being. So the idea is, it's like these are already dynamics that are happening already. Okay, even if we didn't offer this formal intention, it's still happening. When I talk about it in my book, it's more like you get clear on your intention, and then you offer your intention, and that intention goes out and it creates this partnership with life. And then life presents doorways, and then and this is very useful, but it's kind of a formal way of talking about it. The reality is, when we even have an idea like, hey, I think I'd like to have a relationship, and actually it helps if you mean it a little bit. Like, I really would like to have this thing in my life, whether it's a new career, or a new way of making a difference, or a new relationship, or whatever it might be, and it's like you just have this, and it's like, I really would like to have that, and we really kind of mean it, like, this is important to me, and I'd like to have this in my life. And so and that is, even that thought, okay, is an intention. It doesn't mean you sat down and lit sage or did a meditation and saying, oh, I'm offering my intention, which is really good. I do that in workshops, and it is really powerful. But I just want to say, there's also kind of an everyday natural part of this too, where you say, hey, I think I'd like to have this thing in my life. And if you really mean it, that energy forms as an intention. It goes out, interacts with life, and then that energy kind of comes back to us in the form of doorways. Okay, and so life, my premise is that life is trying to help us out. Spirit, God, the universe, life, I call it life, it is trying to help us out. Okay, but here's the challenge, because we're kind of locked into this more linear, usually a willful creation kind of thing. We don't recognize that life is helping us out, because it's presenting doorways that may not fit into our linear progression towards our goal. Okay, so we're doing this one thing, and then, life responding and working with our energy. It's probably our energy that's coming back, actually, is what's happening. But when these doorways start opening and life is helping us out, we often don't see them. and we certainly we don't appreciate it. In fact, when we're wanting one thing, like, hey, I'm on my mission, I'm creating something really important here. I'm making fun of us a little bit, myself included. I'm making some, I'm really serious business. I'm making something happen here, okay, and I'm creating this thing in my life. But meanwhile, life sees more. It sees more intricacies. I always talk about like life's playing 3D chess and we're walking in a 2D. It's kind of like, so life sees something and it's like, Mike, you might want to try this. Here you go. Here's a doorway. Here's something that's going to help you. You said you wanted this, so here's the next step for you to hold what you want. And but I'm like, no, I have to. I'm making this happen, and I've got all these things to do, and my schedule's really full, and I'm working hard to. And so when life presents these doorways and these like resources for us, and it's trying to help us is how I see it. We kind of perceive it as, not helpful. I'm like, can't you see I'm trying to do this? And life's like, I know, but that's not going to get you, like that old thing they say in New England, you can't get there from here. It's like, it's not going to, it's not, we're trying to help you. Life's saying, no, you want to try this. This is going to get you, it's going to save you so much time. And it's like right here, you don't have to create it. It's like all you have to do is allow it in right now. And it's like you need to learn this lesson so you can get there, but we don't see it that way usually. We usually miss, the doorways that are coming to us because they don't fit in line with what we think we need to do to get where we want to be, And so we miss the gift, the blessings that life is offering us on a regular basis, which is of course a little tragic, but so what do we do about all this? Well, first of all, I just wanted to lay it out and see if it resonates with you. You can decide if it does. If it does, what we can do is just start paying attention a little bit more what's coming our way. So what is a question I ask myself and I pose to some of my clients is like, what is life presenting to you? What is naturally opening to you? What are the doorways? What's kind of coming out of the blue that makes no sense? And we're like, and what do we're usually, and we're tending, because it's not in line with what my goal and we kind of push it aside. No, that's not what I don't have time for that now, but it's like, but it's really useful to just say, what is life trying to say to me? What are the doorways? Maybe I should give it a chance. Now, if this opportunity is coming my way, but my initial response is, I don't have time for that now. But it's like, what if I go time out? Like, okay, this new opportunity, this new doorway that's here that came out of seemingly nowhere, what if I look at that? What if I explore that a little bit and see maybe there's a shortcut here that can get me where I actually want to be? And so that's my invitation, is to kind of just stop for a minute, think about what things are coming your way, what opportunities, what doorways, what resources, what gifts, what blessings are coming to you. And then rather than pushing them aside because they don't fit your master plan, it's like saying, okay, how is life, how is spirit trying to help me here? And what is it trying to say to me? What is it trying to show me? You can wake up in the morning, it's like, what are you trying to show me today? Show me some things today. And what are you trying to show me? And then pay a little more attention to the stuff that's actually happening and coming to you in your life. So that's the invitation. That's my video for this week. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have an awesome week and that you just maybe pause a little bit and notice what life might be presenting to you and how it might benefit you. how you can allow some of the good stuff that life, the blessings that life is trying to offer you. So I will see you in a week.